not as effective as we've seen the changeup all this year?
Yeah, changeup was really good, and he went to it early often and used it to put away guys. Yeah, really good pitch for him today.
What was the conversation on the mound visit that got you booed?
Well, we're going out there checking on him. It's a hot day. You know, he's approaching 100 pitches, ramping him back up a little bit as far as we've, you know, kept his pitch count down a little bit, and just wanted to make sure that he was in a good spot there to finish it off.
What
You want to make sure
what did he tell you?
I'm sorry, Ken.
What did he tell you?
He was good to go.
I'm wondering on top of that, if you, when you get out there, do you have a concern, because you've seen him really rear back when he's facing his last batter, you know what I mean? Like, he tends to save his highest velocity for his last pitch.
Yeah, he, you know, there's got to be trust with, you know, between staff players and, you know, going out there in that moment. Trust him that he's gonna shoot me straight, and you know, we're honest with them and shoot them straight when we need to, and you know, that's what we're trying to build, is that trust, and you know, knowing exactly where they're at. And sometimes you can tell guys empty the tank at certain times, and he had a little bit more left.
How about O'Neill, first to home, second inning, that play, just your thoughts about that?
Unbelievable. You know, stealing on the pitch, you know, busting it around second, making Rebello stop him at third base, and Rabs kept him going. It was a great send by Rabs, and there's not many guys in the league that can score on that ball down the line. You know, 320 feet, and O'Neill getting in there. Just he had a heck of a game today, and even later when he knocked Brian in, I think it was, and you know, just it was great game by O'Neill today. He almost caught that one ball and then threw from the nook in left center all the way to third base. You know, tremendous effort on that play as well.
Just how good is he when he's on?
You see it, and just the speed, the arm, the power, just the way that in his at-bats, I thought were, even his last one, he really good swings, battled at the plate, was able to foul off some balls. He didn't get a hit, but that's the grit and the grind that we're talking about when he goes up there, finding a way to make the pitcher work. And I mean, the base hit that he got with when Brian hit the triple, or down the line, and Cruz came up later, it was 112 miles an hour that he hits the ball to right field. That didn't even, off the bat, you don't even think that it's that hard, but that's how hard he hits the ball.
DK, I told O'Neill after the game, if I was assembling the Avengers, he and Paul might be on it at this point, especially just watching what those two can do, and just in amazement. A sub-1 ERA for Paul in the month of July. O'Neill around the bases in 9 seconds. When you watch what they do in the same game together, how impressed are you?
I mean, it's unbelievable. And you know, talking about Paul, the changeup was there, fastball command maybe not as good as we've seen it, but he's got so many options to go to. The changeup working extremely well, able to go to the sweeper against right-handers. You know, fastball, those ones were just missing, it seemed, inside, and able to, you know, miss inside but go back to the changeup. Just the way that Paul's able to pitch with his arsenal, and then we see what O'Neill can do when he's rolling. You know, two very talented individuals.
How impressed were you by Paul? You know, he had a few jams earlier in the game. How impressed were you with getting out of that and just finishing as strongly as he did?
Yeah, he did. Made pitches when he had to. Guys on third, able to get the strikeouts, and you know, to be able to, his pitch count got up there a little bit. And honestly, first inning he goes 20-ish pitches, and Gonzo hits a rocket, and Brian hits a rocket, but it was only 5 pitches. And then Paul's right back out there in the second inning, gets a guy on third. McCarthy hits the triple, and Paul was able to get out of it. But that's a tough stretch there, going right back out there quick. And you know, we were able to. That bottom of the second was huge, just to be able to score and also make Gallen work a little bit, give Paul a little bit of a break to catch his breath before he had to go back out there. It was smoking.
I was watching the bullpen pretty closely, bottom of the 6th inning, and they were just kind of standing around until it was 4 out, and then Ferguson started warming up. Was there any consideration of sending Paul out for the 7th? Or?
No, he was done. Yeah, he was at almost 100 pitches, and yeah, he was done.
How pleased were you with the way this team just finished out this homestand, knowing how it started?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after the bounce back that we saw with the Tiger series and this series, you know, stringing together at bats, great pitching, bullpen was great, starters are great, and the total effort collectively was there, and it was exciting. It was fun. The crowd was into it. Great weekend of baseball.
Considering how good the pitching was, 29 innings, 1 earned run, is there any disappointment that this wasn't a sweep? I know 2 out of 3 is still a big step, but considering how good the pitching was.
Yeah, man. You know what? The game is so hard, and looking back at it, it was to start 0-3 on the homestand and to finish 5-4 and find a way. There's always gonna be games that you look back and could be frustrated by, but I challenge these guys to keep looking forward and keep moving on. Every day is a new day, and finding ways to do that. And I thought that we responded really well day to day and did a great job.